This year, it felt like it was finally time to tell women's stories. In the aftermath of the Me Too movement, there's been a palpable shift in how women are represented in media. Hey guys, it's Phoebe with MsMojo. Today we're taking a look at how 2019 has been a great year for female characters.
Another two.
Bucket 20 cigarettes,
and we're happy, so happy.
We now fully understand the importance of believing women, and that's definitely a sentiment that's been reflected in the media this year. Let's take a look. Let's start with the most widely viewed examples. Captain Marvel, a female-led superhero movie, grossed over $1 billion at the box office, becoming one of the most financially successful films of the year.
You know anything about a lady blowing a hole through the roof of that Blockbuster over there? Witness says she was dressed for laser tag.
Oh. Yeah, I think she went that way.
In the most textbook sense, this is a progressive step towards more representation for women. We also saw a major girl power moment in Avengers Endgame, the #1 top grossing film of the year, when all the female figures in the MCU came together to fight alongside one another.
I don't know how you're gonna get it through all of that.
Don't worry.
She's got help.
While seeing a focus on female characters in such major blockbusters is great, we're actually less interested in the strong female character trope and more interested in how this year has paved the way for much more nuanced characters to be developed in both TV and film.
You lighten up, honey, huh? Got a smile for me?
The theme of believing women is no more apparent than in the Netflix original series Unbelievable. In fact, Jen Chaney at Vulture called it the most feminist crime show she's ever seen. With over 32 million people tuning in during the first month that the show was released, it was an undeniable hit for the streaming service. Based on a collaborative article from ProPublica and the Marshall Project that told the real-life story of a serial rapist, this was largely a tale about women, not just because of the victims, but also because both of the cops who solved the case were female too. The show treats the victims with respect, never sensationalizing what happened to them or offering gratuitous footage of the crimes taking place. Though the first episode sees a young woman being repeatedly and brutally interrogated by male police officers, that all changes as the show progresses.
How about you walk me through it again? Tell me exactly how the assault happened.
Again?
One more time, yes.
We see in Unbelievable how things can be different when women are the ones in charge, and it feels revelatory. In one memorable scene in the 4th episode, a group of female police officers discuss the case while playing pool together, in a tableau that is all too familiar, except as an audience, we're used to seeing it be populated by men.
This is very helpful, Amber. The level of detail you're able to remember gives me a lot to work with. Thank you for that.
Hustlers is a prime example of a 2019 film that feels as though it couldn't have been made in earlier years. The film's director, Lorene Scafaria, said, quote, "I think it's hard to get any movies made nowadays. It's especially hard to get movies made about women doing questionable things." The film is about New York strippers during the 2008 financial crisis who decide to try illegal pursuits to make their income.
It's like robbing a bank, except you get the keys. Are you in?
Though it is a story about the sex work industry, the male gaze is entirely absent from the film, with female empowerment taking center stage. The movie also has the audacity to show older women in these roles. Jennifer Lopez was 50 when the film was released, and Constance Wu was 37. Hustlers is based on a true story, and the women involved were much younger in real life. It would have been easy for the filmmakers to cast younger actors in the central roles. This movie treats men how women are treated in so many mainstream films, as background characters with few lines and no backstories. The story unapologetically focuses on the women and doesn't take any pains to make the audience feel for the men who are suffering from the consequences of their actions.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to work with animals. I was close.
In one scene, men are conspicuously completely absent. It's Christmas and the main characters are with their families, but it's only mothers and daughters who appear, with no fathers or sons in sight.
These Wall Street guys, you see what they did to this country? They stole from everybody. Hardworking people lost everything. And not one of these douchebags went to jail. game is rigged, and it does not reward people who play by the rules.
While there were many unique stories like Hustlers, 2019 also saw subversions of traditionally male-centric films with women in the primary roles instead.
Missed ya. I missed you. I missed you so much. Been one night.
There was the comedy Booksmart, which felt akin to Superbad, but with Olivia Wilde directing, and Beanie Feldstein and Caitlin Dever in the central roles.
Name one person whose life was so much better because they broke a couple of rules.
Picasso.
He broke art rules. Name a person who broke a real rule.
Rosa Parks.
Name another
Susan B. Anthony.
God damn it.
We also saw a reversal of the 2000 Mel Gibson movie What Women Want, with the updated What Men Want, starring the effervescent Taraji P. Henson.
You don't connect well with men. Just stay in your lane.
While the first season of Fleabag came out in 2016, it was only in 2019, with the release of the second season, that the show became a true cultural phenomenon.
The priest is quite hot.
So hot.
Fleabag essentially swept the comedy categories at the 71st Primetime Emmy Awards in September, with the show's creator, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, taking home awards for Outstanding Comedy Series, Outstanding Lead Actress, and Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series. Both seasons also pulled off the nearly unattainable 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, set it up.
She may not have set out to create a feminist show, but perhaps that's actually a salient point.
We're bad feminists. I want my top back. Okay.
The show's titular character, who we only know by the moniker Fleabag, is unlike any figure we've seen on television before. She's a woman who's deeply broken and floundering, who has progressive ideas but feels like she's failing at implementing them. She's transgressive and overt about her sexuality, but not in a way that's meant to entice or titillate.
He also used to say things like,
"You're not like other girls. You can keep up."
Waller-Bridge said of the character, quote, "I've never played a part that's just shamelessly dangerous as a woman." And she's like, "I know I'm dangerous. I know I'm naughty. I know I'm massively broken." The point isn't, of course, to create a character that we aspire to be, but rather to show a real woman living in a world that she's deeply aware is structured by men.
Hope it's a light flow.
oh, it never is.
We've seen male characters like this for years, from Tony Soprano to Walter White, the anti-hero who you can root for while understanding that they're definitely not on the right side of morality. There's been very little space for women to occupy this realm until now. While most of the focus is on a woman in her 30s, in the second season, the show even features a scene about the joys of menopause, which might be the first time that sentiment has found itself on television.
But then, you're free. No longer a slave, no longer a machine with parts. You're just a person in business.
I was told it was horrendous.
It is horrendous, but then it's magnificent.
In an interview with Marie Claire, Waller-Bridge said, quote, "I'll never get bored of seeing flawed women on the screen." And she's certainly doing a good job of creating them herself, because while Fleabag has been in the spotlight this year, she's also developed another critically acclaimed show, Killing Eve. This female-centric spy thriller features 3 female protagonists, who are in some ways the stereotypical strong female character, but in others subvert the trope flawlessly by displaying their flaws.
If she's alive, you need to find her before she finds you. And she will. And there's no need to play the reluctant ingenue with me. Just save that for your husband. Tell him I forced you to do it. It'll make it easier.
Some shows decided to tackle Me Too head-on, including Apple TV Plus's The Morning Show, which stars Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon as 2 TV journalists struggling in the wake of Aniston's co-anchor being fired due to sexual misconduct.
Mitch Kessler, my co-host and partner of 15 years, was fired today for sexual misconduct.
The plot obviously mirrors some of the story on Matt Lauer in The Today Show and gives its female leads plenty of room to shine. Alex Levy, Aniston, has continued with the complex emotions of someone she was so close to being canceled because of their behavior in the workplace, showing the consequences for women in this new era.
So listen, my gut instinct is to bring the news to America, myself, honestly. Addressing the truth is the only way to protect our integrity. So we will talk to them as members of our family. We will grieve with them. We will go through this together.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. One thing that ties all of these properties together is that they're not just focused on women, they're largely created by women as well. Along with Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Lorene Scafaria, who was at the helm of Hustlers, Unbelievable was created by Susanna Grant. Some of the morning show's episodes are directed by Mimi Leder, who also executive produced the miniseries alongside Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. Captain Marvel was co-directed by Anna Boden. And while major strides have been made in terms of women working behind the camera, we still have a long way to go. In the 2018-2019 season for indie films at American festivals, women only made up 32% of all directors, writers, producers, and executive producers, editors, and cinematographers. While we're definitely in an era of change when it comes to women in media, it's exciting to think about how much further it can go.
Yes. Well, the truth is what we are all striving for.
2019 was a huge year for women in entertainment, but let's hope that 2020 sees them make even more strides. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments or tweet me at Phoebe_WM. And check out this video.